Welcome back to Pima Community College's Career Services Department and our library of YouTube videos. Today we're going to be talking a little bit more about Big Interview and walking through all of the different things that you can use Big Interview for. Do you know what Big Interview is? You can probably guess by the name that it has to do with interviews. So Big Interview is created to help students be able to better prepare for their interviews and feel more confident in the way that they're answering the questions from the interview panel or the hiring manager. So if you've ever felt a bit nervous going into an interview, or maybe you want to brush up on your skills, or maybe you're just wondering, what kind of questions can I expect in the interview? This is going to be a resource that's going to be super helpful for you. So to find Big Interview, you do have to log in first to your MyPima. From there, you're going to go to the Student tab. You're going to go down to Student Resources, and then down to the Career Services headline right here, clicking on Big Interview. So let's go ahead and log in. There we go. So I'm going to press Login. There's an admin view, so I'm going to go over to the student view so I can walk you through it. All right, so when you log in, your screen's going to look something similar to this. It's going to be personalized to you and the progress and the status that you are in terms of practicing for your interviews, but it's going to look a little something like this. So this is your dashboard. Your dashboard is going to share announcements, so if there's new lessons or new interview questions that they think you should take a look at. You can earn certificates to show that you have made it through certain parts of the interview prep process. You can see what you have right here in progress. And then at the bottom, you're going to see some of the other resources, such as the Resume Builder tool, Interview Roulette, and your Answer Builder, which are things we're going to go into in just a second. Let's start with the Learn tab. So if you click up here on Learn, it's going to show you some different types of curriculum. Most of this is going to be video curriculum, so short little videos that you can watch to give you learning in the areas you're interested in. If you go to the Fast Track, these are going to be interview video lessons that are a little bit quicker. They're a little bit more high-level overview, just to be able to help prepare you. If you go over to the Mastery track, these are going to be more in detailed, and they're really going to dial down more into the different types of interview questions, how to answer them, and there's going to be a lot more detail there. Beneath these, you're going to see some other types of categories for video learning. Your interview playbooks, of course, job search curriculum, so if you're wondering how to go about finding a job, that's something that you could watch. Resume curriculum, if you're wanting to know how do I create a resume, you can definitely watch the videos there. If you prefer to learn by reading from a text, you can view the written curriculum. Negotiation curriculum, so how do you negotiate a better salary or negotiate different parts of a position? Right there, it's going to help you learn how to negotiate properly. And then the first 90 days video curriculum is what to do in your first 90 days at a new position. All right. And then if you earn any certificates along the way, for example, finishing the Fast Track video lessons, your certificates will show up right here. Now let's go over to practice. One of the most amazing parts of Big Interview is it allows you to practice how to answer these questions. So like most places, you'll just read the information and you're kind of on your own. In here, you can actually record yourself answering your questions, doing a mock interview, and you can get feedback on it. So there's 4 different things that you can do in the practice section. Number 1, practice interviews. Number 2, Interview Roulette. Number 3 is Answer Builder, and number 4 is the Question Library. So for example, if you want to just practice interviews, then you can go right here to Practice Interview. You can do a general interview, which covers about 80% of the interview questions you might get. You can do industry specific. So if you are in a certain industry, for example, education, or maybe you're an HVAC student or an IT student, you can go to the specific industry that you're going to be interviewing in and see the actual questions that are likely to be answered, industry specific, for your interview. You can also go over to competency/skill set and practice interview questions that are sorted by competency and skill set. So if you consider yourself a seasoned interviewer, you might want to go here and choose something that's a little bit more difficult versus more of the easier general questions. You can also go down to admissions, where you can practice interviewing for admissions to like graduate school or to a transfer school. You can go to government and you can learn how to interview for a variety of federal and state jobs. And lastly, veterans. So you can practice interviews for some of the fastest growing jobs for veterans and more veteran specific questions. Right here, if you go to My Videos, you can see any videos that you have recorded. So let's go into practice interviews. We're going to go to industry, and we'll just choose aviation and aerospace as our choice. Perhaps you're in our aviation program at Pima, and you're wanting to be an A&P mechanic. You can click here on aircraft mechanic, and here's a bunch of different questions that you can expect to have when you do an A&P mechanic interview. You can click in on one of these. We can go right here and listen to the interviewer's question. So how would you answer that question? You can go right here, and my webcam is currently being used to do this, this video, so I can't do it right now, but typically you could go ahead and you could record yourself answering this question. Once you're done recording the question, it's going to show up here under My Videos. Now, if you're stuck and you're not sure how to answer this question, click right here on Tips. It's going to give you an idea of how you should answer it and things to consider, and also some really great example answers. Once you're finished and you've recorded your video, you can move on to the next question. Again, by pressing play, choosing Tips if you need some extra help, and recording your answer. So what do you do next? Go to My Videos, and you can watch the video that you recorded, and then you can give yourself a self-review. Did you answer the question well? You can click right here. What are the things you need to consider when deciding if you answered it well? There's 10 different questions there. And then you can go to external reviews. So you can also share this video. You can share it with faculty or staff members, with family or friends, and they can provide you some valuable feedback on your interview questions. If you go here to where it says My Resume, this is another really excellent tool that we encourage students to use. So while we're kind of veering off from the interview section, part of a great interview starts with an incredible resume to even get your foot in the door for that. So how do you build a resume? I already kind of showed you under the Learn section that there is a resume curriculum that you can watch. So there's 9 video lessons on creating your resume. But if that isn't enough for you and you actually want to be able to create that resume and have a little bit of support, you can click here on Build a Resume. Or if you already know the type of position that you're looking for, you can go down here and say, I'm a, or you can say, I want to be a, let's say you want to be an assistant manager and you're looking for a classic, just a regular resume. Or maybe you want to see examples of all styles of resumes. You can click here, Inspire Me. What it's going to do is it's going to automatically download some examples of resumes. Let's see what a classic resume for an assistant manager looks like. Enable the editing. And here we go. Now you can see an example of what that resume should look like. And now you have something to work off of. Let's go back to our big interview. And let's say you already know all of the information that you want to put in your resume and you're ready to just build it. Click here on Build a Resume. Get started. And you're going to click on your experience and education. So if you're more of an experienced professional and you're looking for a resume that can highlight all of your job experience, you're going to click here. If you're more early in career or a current student with not a lot of work experience, you're going to want to focus more on your education. So choose whichever is most appropriate for you and click Start Building Your Resume. You'll see here that you can get help with your summary, put in all of your work experience, your education details, any projects, certifications, and skills that you've worked on. You can choose the look and feel of your resume, and when you click Finish, it's going to automatically create a resume for you that you can email to yourself and that you can use for applying to different types of positions. Lastly, there's an Assignments tab. So sometimes faculty or staff members will use this system to create an assignment. So if your faculty, if your teacher in one of your classes is currently giving you an assignment, this is where you're going to go to do it. You'll type in the assignment code they've provided you, click on Go, you're going to click on I'm ready, and you'll be able to view the assignment they've given you. The assignments are typically to answer certain interview questions, record yourself, and then your staff member, your faculty member, your teacher, your professor is going to be able to go in there and grade how well you did. Again, you're only going to use the Assignments tab if your faculty, staff, teacher, or professor has given you an assignment and an assignment code. The rest of these are for you to use at your leisure whenever you're wanting to prepare for an important interview. As always, if you guys have more questions about how to interview, make sure and view our careers page at pima.edu/careers, or you can also download our career guide, which is found on that website, or you can email career services at pima.edu for any specific questions or needs that you have. Thanks so much for joining, you guys. Happy interviewing.